Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss how we can deploy a Django application on AWS. So let's start with our agenda. We need to follow these all points to deploy our Django application on AWS. First of all, we will create our AWS EC2 instance. Then we will clone a Git repo, and then we will connect with EC2 instance using SSH. And then we will set up Gunicorn and Nginx, and then we will load static files and start services. Then we will test our application in browser. Okay, so let's jump into point number one so we can discuss how we can create an EC2 instance. If you have AWS account, you can just go to EC2 dashboard and you can create AWS EC2 instance. If you don't have, you can create AWS account first. Okay, then we will set up some security groups, and then we will connect with our instance using SSH via local terminal. Okay, so let's start with our Ubuntu EC2 instance creation. Okay, I'm on my AWS dashboard, so I will go to my EC2 dashboard. You can also search from the top. If you don't found how to go to EC2 dashboard, you simply just type EC2 and you will be on the EC2 dashboard. So I will launch a new instance. First of all, I have to give the name to my EC2 instance. So I'm giving to the name demo EC2 app. Okay, so I have given a name. I will select the machine. So there are multiple machines available, so we can choose. So I'm going to use Ubuntu machine. Then we have to select our instance type. So you can choose your instance type as your requirement. So I'm going with my default configuration. I will choose this T2 micro because this is a demo video. So next I will create a key pair. We will use this key pair to connect with our EC2 instance via local terminal. Then we have to select our security groups. I have to just allow the traffic for HTTP and HTTPS. This is very important. You have to only allow your IP for SSH for the security concerns. Okay, then we can change the storage and other details, but by default we can leave it. I will click on launch instance. Okay, our instance is launched. I will go to the dashboard of EC2. This is our instance, so it will be ready in next 1 minute. Okay, our instance is running. So now we will connect with our instance using SSH commands. So I will go to connect. We will use this command and this to connect with our terminal. So I will just copy this, and I will go to my terminal. Make sure you are in the same directory where your PIM file is downloaded. So I will run first command, and then I will copy the next command. Okay, we are connected with our EC2 instance. Okay, so let's move further so we can process how we can now deploy our application on AWS. Before installing Gunicorn and Nginx, we have to update our machine and we need to clone our project. Okay, We will follow this article throughout our video for commands. So we will follow this as well. So you have to follow the video and article both together, so you can copy some commands, some scripts. So first of all, I will just copy these first two commands so we can update our machine and install Python, pip and nginx at once. So okay, when the installation will be completed, we have to move to the next step, which is to install the virtual environment on our Ubuntu machine. So I will copy these two commands together. So I will, when this execution will be completed, so we will paste these two commands so virtual environment will be installed. Okay, I have just pasted the next two commands so we can install virtual environment. Okay, we are done with our virtual environment. Now next we have to clone our Git repo. So if you have your own Git repo, you can clone it. Otherwise, I will show you my Git repo we are using in this video. So let me go to my GitHub. Okay, I will clone this my GitHub repo. You can also clone if you want. This is public. Okay, our Git repo is cloned. So I will just check it. You can run command ls and you will see you have the project ready. So I will just open this project. Okay, so we have to follow next we have to, okay, so we know we need to create a virtual environment before we move. So first of all, I will create virtual environment. Then I have to activate this virtual environment. Then after that, I will install all the packages available in my requirement.txt file. Okay, virtual environment is activated. All the packages in my requirement.txt file will be installed. Okay, so we are done with our packages installation. Okay, now we have to set up Gunicorn and Nginx on our EC2 instance. So actually, Gunicorn is a pure Python HTTP server for web server gateway interface applications. So it will communicate with our Django application and it will pass the response to Nginx. So we will use Nginx because it will be a web server. It will also serve our static files. Okay, so let's install and configure both things on AWS instance. Okay, we need to copy this so we can install Gunicorn. And then we have to run some migration command and collect status. So I will just run these three commands together. Somehow a package is not installed. Let me go one by one. Okay, this package is not installed. So first of all, I will install this package. You need to just paste. If somehow if any package issue comes out, you can just simply install it. So I will just first of all install this. Oh, sorry, I need to copy this. Okay, it's copied. So I can just install this package. Okay, now I will run my migrations. Okay, it's run successfully, so I can run my previous commands easily. Migrate. Okay, all the tables are now ready to use. Now I will run collect static. This is my this command. Okay, so we are done with our migrations and collect static files. Okay, so let's move to the Gunicorn setup. So first of all, we need to create this file and we will paste the content there. Okay, I have just pasted the command and I have to just copy the same content and we need to save the file then. Okay, I will press escape and I will just save it. Okay, then I have to copy the next command. We need to copy this. Okay, we need to copy the content of this file and paste here. Okay, this content we need to copy. So here I want to tell you, make sure your project folder name is correct. Okay, this thing, and this is also your project folder name. Make sure, and this is your setting.py folder name. So these three things are very important. If you will forget to give the correct name, then it will not work. So make sure this number one, this path, and this block one. Okay, so these names must be correct. So I will copy this and I will paste it here. Okay, so this is my project base directory. I will just make sure this is my project folder name. Okay, and this is where my settings.py file exists. So this is the name of the folder. I will save this. Okay, then I will move to next. So I will enable my Gunicorn settings. Okay, I think it's enabled, so we can double check. Okay, so we need to just follow the next steps. Okay, now we need to set up Nginx. We are done with Gunicorn setup. So before you set up Nginx, make sure if there's any default file exists, you need to remove it. So I will first of all check. We can check if it exists. Yeah, it exists. So you can remove this Nginx by default file. I will use command sudo remove r. Okay, this file is removed, so it's not there. Okay, so we will deactivate our environment as well. So we are done with our file removing. So now we had to create our new file. So I will give the file name block. So you can also change the name as well. Okay, it's up to you. So I will create this new file now, and I will copy this content, okay, and I will paste it here. One thing I want to tell you here, this is server name, because currently we are not going to install SSL, but in my next video you can see how we will change this file to make it for HTTPS request enabled. So for this it will be only run on HTTP protocol. So this is server name. By default, if with this sign, it's allow all the domains IP address connecting with our instance. So for this we will leave it. Okay, so this is our static file folder. We need to make sure what is the name of our static files folder. Okay, if it's static files, then we will need to edit this path. Okay, we will check it. So then we need to make sure the project folder name is correct. Okay, these three things we need to figure out that everything is correct. So I will save it. Okay, then I will move to next. I will enable this. Make sure this is the same file name we created above. If your path name is not correct, it will not work. Make sure this name is same as we created this. Okay, so the configuration file name must be correct. So I will copy this, and then I will just go to my terminal. Okay, so now we need to copy this command to load our static files. The username will be your instance username. So in my case, it's Ubuntu. So I will show you how you can find your username. You can see this is my username. To load the static files, I will just run this command. This will be Ubuntu. Okay, the user has added. Now I have to run this command to start Nginx. Okay, now we have to come back to our project. First of all, I will go to my project. We need to activate our virtual environment. Okay, then we need to run remaining two commands. This one, and this is our last command. Then we will test our application in browser. Okay, so our server will be up. So first thing we need to make sure, which is static files. So in our Nginx configuration file, our name was static. So I will update it, otherwise static files will not load. So I have to go to my, this was the command. So I will just change the path here. Static files. Okay, and then I will save it. Then I will just run the Nginx to restart, so it will collect all the changes in configuration file. Now we have to go to our IP address, and we will see if the website is live or not. Okay, we need to copy this public address and we need to paste in the browser. So we can see our project is live. Wow, this is we have done. Okay, all the static files are also loaded, so there is no issue of CSS loading. So what mistakes you can make, I can tell you now. Okay, make sure you have added these two lines. One, this white noise in your install app configuration in your setting files, and then this line to your middleware of your setting file of your project. Make sure you have added these two lines. And the next thing is you make sure you have added this path, these things in your main project folder directory in urls.py file. If you will add these two things, first of all these things, and then in the setting files you need to add this line, and in the middleware you need to add this. So if you will add these two files, you will not get the issue of static files. Okay, your css will be loaded, otherwise you will not see css loaded on your website. So make sure you don't make these mistakes. Okay, and in case if you are seeing any issue regarding your settings, so you can just run this command in your terminal. You will see where is the issue in your settings. Like in the deployments, you can by mistake you can forget anything. So make sure if you face any issue, run this command, and this command will tell you where is the issue. Okay, so I think, and when you update any new changes in the code, you can push code to the GitHub, and you can pull the code on your instance. Okay, then you will need to just run these two commands to collect the new changes. Okay, so we are done with our configurations and all these setup, and our project is live as well. So make sure the static files are added, everything is properly configured. If you skip any point, your css files will not load anymore. So not make these configurations mistakes in your deployment. And make sure you have, after you have changes any in your code, make sure to run these two commands, so it will make the new changes live on your website. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe my channel, because it takes time to make a good videos. So it will be appreciation from my followers, so you can subscribe my channel as well. Thank you for watching my video.